Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Swirl to Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy Swirl to Investment.
All right. Hey, Sandy. We're up here parasailing. Whoa. Hey, everybody. Please stand to say something.
Okay, how's everybody doing tonight? Happy Saturday night. All right. It's good to be with you guys. Hey, I apologize being so freaking late tonight, but hey, work calls and I was trying to get home as soon as possible, and I do apologize. That's why I said time to be determined, because I don't want to promise you a time I can't deliver. Um, but I'm here tonight, guys, and I wanted to get here as soon as I could. Um, you know, but I appreciate you being here this late tonight. It's 9:34 where I'm at, Mountain Standard Time. On the East Coast, it's 11:34. A little bit late, but it's Saturday night. A lot of us get to sleep in tomorrow. A lot of us going to church tomorrow. We have some time to rest. Okay, not all. There's a lot of people that do work on the weekends, and like I said, I apologize for being this late. I didn't want to come on this late, but you know we're here, and I'm glad you're here. And today's a beautiful day. It really is. Um, I feel so much better than my prayer meeting. I'm telling you guys, I'm flying high tonight. I really am, and I don't mean high as in, you know, taking some kind of substance. No, I'm on a natural high. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. Things are happening right now. Good things are happening. Um, I'm having success at my job. Um, Me and my wife are getting closer to going to Dallas. Um, that's still like 7 years away, though, but it is what it is. But and also the refrigerator's getting smaller. I don't know if you noticed that I've lost considerable amount of weight. This jersey is just like baggy. It used to fit pretty tight, but it don't anymore. Um, I've had to go down on pants size to get pants that fit me now. Good things are happening. And I'm just happy tonight. And but I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about interracial relationships, the truth and the propaganda. Okay, look, I've heard so much propaganda. I've heard that white men and black women don't like each other and they don't want to date each other. They're not attracted to each other. I've heard white men are all racist and fetishizers and just creepy. And the only time they want anything to do with black women is when we're in our lustful stage and we're fetishizing, because only white men can fetishize by the rhetoric and propaganda we hear, through social media and people's perception on things. And it's sad because, believe it or not, and I'm going to shock you guys, not all white people are racist. Believe it or not, not all white people desire to say racial slurs or the N-word. We don't want to do that. We don't like that. We don't want a part of that. Believe it or not, most white people do not embrace white supremacy. Actually, it makes us look bad and it harms us, and we don't want no part of it. But, hearing some people talk, it's just that we're just come out of the womb evil and just want to destroy. And that ain't true. But there's all kinds of propaganda. There's all kinds of crap going on. And I'm going to go over the truth and propaganda. And I'm going to show some videos and talk about this. And because, we need to stand up for ourselves. Us that are in interracial relationships, black women, white men. And white men, we need to stand up for ourselves, say, whoa, wait a minute. That racist thing, we're not all racist. We're not. We're not all born with a silver spoon in our mouth and have just wealth because we're white. We really do have to work for what we want in life. Believe it or not, some of us live in poverty. Believe it or not, some white people are homeless. I know some people are shocked. And believe it or not, we don't control America like that. The majority of people in America are white, so most of our leaders are white. But I think that's a misconception that they see the majority white, but the majority of the population is white. It don't necessarily mean we just dominate and have our boot on the necks of minorities. We're not. Yeah. Back in the past, it was that way, no doubt. Okay. But I'm not going to get into that. I want to talk about interracial relationships with black women, white men. Look, there's truth and there's propaganda. There's stereotypes, generalizations, and we've been told so many things. Okay, and I think us as a nation, we need to come together, and we are more and more. But we just need to come together as a nation. We don't need to have separate neighborhoods, separate this, separate that. No, we just need to be Americans and come together. And when we date, when we marry, we need to go for the best option, the person that loves us the most, the one that has the most character. And in a perfect world, we would do that. In a perfect world, we would love each other and we live together in perfect harmony. But unfortunately, there's evil in this world. Unfortunately, but we don't have to accept it. We don't have to live our lives the way that society does, or we don't have to live on a stereotype or generalization. We can find out for ourselves. We can find out the truth. And this is what I want to do with this live tonight. Okay, I want to give you my opinion. You can believe me or not, but I want to talk about some things. And and I want you guys to think about this. Who is the most successful at dating and marriage in this country today? Who has the most successful marriage? Okay. You can research stats. Whose children do the best, whether it's same race or interracially. Okay. Think about these things. And think about what you've been told your whole life. Believe it or not, we've all been conditioned. We all have this belief that, you know, that we're supposed to be with our own kind. And what is our own kind? Is it people that look like us? Or is it people that love us and people that have the same values as we do? What is our people? When you say be with your own kind, be with your own people, you've heard that, right? I've heard that all my life. I heard it more so back in the day when I was young, teenager, and dating. I had a thing for black women. I always loved black women. Black women have been my preference ever since I started dating, and always will be. Okay, and that's not no hate to any other group of women. It's not. People seem to believe that I hate white women and black men, and that ain't true at all. Um, thing of it is black women are my preference. I love black women, and I'm protective of black women. And when black men go in on black women, I'm defensive, and I will stick up for black women. That don't mean I hate the guy. I protect women. That's how I've been trained. And when the group of women happens that I love the most is black women, guess what? I don't care what your color is. If you're going in on black women, I'm going to stand up to it. I'm going to defend black women. And us as men should defend women, right? We're supposed to protect. So there's a misconception about me. I just think black women deserve to have the best option because they are the best option. And regardless of what color of man she chooses, what ethnicity, that's up to her. I just think black women need to have the best of all groups of men. Because let's be honest, they are the most educated, they are the most loving, most nurturing. I mean, when black women open up their options, they have a bigger success rate, right? And what that means is us non-black men, we have more of a success rate when we marry black women. Okay? It's true. And I'm not trying to say, oh, white men are the best. No, what I'm saying is black women are the best. I think white men, we have been raised to be traditional, a lot of us, and we've been trained to love women, provide and protect, and I think we have more of I think we're just better at expressing our love for women. And I think black women, when they see us expressing our love for them, I think they appreciate it. And it makes them feel beautiful because, and tell me if I'm wrong, when someone of another race, another ethnicity finds you to be amazing and has love for you, that means so much more than the women in your group or the men in your group. You know what I'm saying? The same racial group, the same ethnicity. I know I felt that when a black woman would show me love, I was like, oh my God, I felt good about it. Of course there's white women that, back in the day found me attractive and thought I was a great guy. And I felt good about that too. But when a black woman does, it's like, oh my God, even a black woman thinks I'm great, thinks I'm something special, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. And I think black women feel that way too. When a white man shows love and affection for a black woman, she's like, oh, even a white guy thinks I'm beautiful. And and it don't mean you're more looked at better because someone of another race thinks you're great, but it just feels that way. Psychologically, we embrace it. Even for those that aren't into interracial relationships, they really embrace that because it psychologically we don't expect people of other races to think highly of us. We just don't. I mean, I never expected it. I've loved black women, but I always thought black women really didn't like me when I started dating. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to look ridiculous. But gosh, I want to be with her. I really, it was a conflict I was dealing with. I don't think black women will accept me, but I really want to be with black women. And it was like an internal conflict I had within me. Should I just stay with women like me? Because I know women that look like me will like me. And I always knew Asian women love white guys. They do. I knew this. We can feel it, right? Not all, but we know. Okay. I always thought black women, that'd be tough. They really just want to be with black men. And I always felt that way. And the first black woman that said yes to me was like paradise. It was like I won the lottery of life. I embraced it. I loved it so much because I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my God, thank you, God. This is the most beautiful day of my life. That's how I looked at it with black women because I had love for black women. And when a black woman accepts me and shows me love, I'm so thankful. And I think that's a lot of times the reason black women, white men, their relationships last longer is because we appreciate each other. We're not expecting each other to like us. And I've heard black women say that white men don't like me. And I've seen very beautiful black women say that. I'm like, oh my God, are you, what's wrong with you? They will love you. But there's that conditioning. We've been told they don't like us. I remember back in the day when I was dating, I remember my friends say, why are you so crazy about black women? They're not going to like you. And they say, you're not a bad looking guy, but black women don't like white guys. Let's just be honest. And I've heard that. And I believed it. I'm like, well, yeah, but oh my God. But that's my preference. What do you do? Do you just submit to society and what they think and just stay with somebody that looks like you? Or do you go with who you really want to be with? This was my conflict in my life, guys. And I'm no different than millions of white men on this planet today that really want to be with black women. But that internal conflict is there. We're unsure. We don't know. We see so many black women express their love for black men and their preference being a black man. Okay. And let's be honest, most people stay with their racial group, ethnicity. Most people do that. So those of us that are attracted to someone outside of our racial group, outside of our ethnicity, there's some it's tough. It's an internal battle. Um, socially, uh, socially, societally, it would be easier to date white women as a white man because that's what we're expected to do. But I did not want that. I wanted to be with a black woman. And look, there are guys like me. There are people like me that are attracted to other people that aren't in our so-called group, right? What do we do? Do we go along because everybody else does it? or do we follow our heart and be with who we want to be with? This is the internal struggle I have. Okay. And you know, I love black women, I always have. But I always pursued black women because that's what I wanted. Even though times I didn't think that would happen. And there were times I got my heart broken. There were times black women would kick me to the curb and say, no, I'm not interested in you. Sorry. And when you have love for somebody and they just kick you to the side, that's hard to take, right? But that's okay, because for the ones that did accept me, the ones that did love me, it was worth it. Leading to my wife I have today. The struggle, the fight was all worth it. Anything I had to go through, any ridicule, any hatred, any beatdown I had to go through in my life was worth it. And I would do it a million times over. Okay? Because black women are that amazing to me. Black women are that beautiful to me. Black women, I just love black women. And they have shown me love. And black women have been a blessing to me. Okay? And, when you open up your options, you're going to have that internal struggle. You're going to have that. Okay? But don't let that get to you. Believe it or not, there are black women that love white men. Okay? And believe it or not, there are white men that love black women. And, I found when I was searching for black women, later on, I found out there were black women looking for me too, and it's like, and that's a beautiful thing when you realize that are people like you and we're looking for each other. Black women and white men, we're looking for each other. We really are. We're wanting to be together, but there's that barrier, and we have to have the courage to step out. We have to have that courage to open up our options and kick our friends and family to the curb. Sometimes even parents to be a part of the power couple. It's not easy. Not everybody's going to open up their options. A lot of people that want to never will because they don't have that courage. They don't have that drive to be with the one they really want to be with. Let's be honest. I'm half crazy, so I was able to work it out, but it was an internal conflict within me because I'm like, oh my God, I want to be with her. She don't want to be with me. But there's Becky and Mailing down there that will be happy to be with me. And I'm not going to get no flack or no attacks for being with them. From white people or black people. Nobody cares. But when it's black and white, yeah, there's going to be more hatred, more issues. Okay? Now we can date and marry who we want, right? But there is that internal conflict, okay? And there's a lot of propaganda. A lot. But if we really look into it and we look at the truth and really look at it, who's better off with each other? Okay? And that's what we need to look at. If you're traditional and you want to be married, you want to have a family, who's the best option for you? Who are you most attracted to? Who do you relate to the most? Okay? You got to ask these questions. Because if you're not with the person you really want to be with, you're never going to be happy. I couldn't submit to societal propaganda and the modern day segregationists where we should be with their own kind. I would never be happy. And I can never go where my heart's not there. I can't get with a white woman because she looks like me. Because honestly, if I did that, I wouldn't be happy. The relationship would never work. I'd probably end up cheating because and I hate to say that because I'm faithful to my wife and I I don't believe in that, but if I'm with a woman I'm not attracted to, I mean, what's going to happen? My heart's not going to be there. And I tell people, be with who you really want to be with. If the attraction ain't there, but it looks good on paper, no, don't go with that. You got to have love. People say, well, marriage is just a contract. No, shut up. You got to have love too. Okay? Yeah, it is like a contract. You have an agreement. You both live up to your bargain, but you got to have love. Because if you don't have love, your relationship is not going to work. It's not. Okay? But anyway, let me show you some videos, guys. Well, let me go through the slides first. Okay? And this is some things I came up with that I see. Now, there's more propaganda than what I'm going to show you. There's more truth than what I'm going to show you. I'm going to start with the propaganda first. Okay? All right. Here we go. All right. You see this picture? Okay, it looks kind of funny, right? You got an angry black man there, an angry white man, and then you got an interracial couple. Okay? And I'm trying to just put an image that there are angry black people and white people that don't like interracial relationships. Let's be honest, okay? Hold on, let me get this off here real quick. Well, never mind. Okay, I didn't want to do that, but okay. Okay. Now, propaganda about interracial relationships, predominantly black women, white men. Okay. You heard this, right? Number one, black women and white men are not attracted to each other. Is that true? That's a lie. Okay. I mean, there are black women and white men not attracted to each other. There are. But a lot of black women and white men are attracted to each other. Okay. But we're told, and I've been told, black women aren't going like you like them. They're not going to be into you. They don't like you. They're not attracted to you. I've been told that. Is that true? Well, with some black women, yes. But some black women, hey, they are attracted to white men. Same thing with white men. There's a lot of white men that would love to date black women, that would love to have a relationship, love to be married to black women. But we're not told that, are we? Number two, all white men are racist. Okay, you've heard that, right? White men are just racist. They're the colonizers. They're the enemy. They're the slave holders. Okay, no, we are not the same white people that participated in slavery and colonizing different countries. We're not that. We're a different group of people. We're our own man. I'm my own man. I'm responsible for my sin, nothing else. Okay? We're not all racist. Okay? You've heard that though, right? You've heard that white people are inherently racist. No, they're not. People are inherently sinful. All people are, okay? But that's what you're told. So if you think that all white men are racist, why would you date one? Makes sense, right? White men lust and fetishize black women. How many times we heard that? Not saying white men don't lust after and fetishize black women. There are white men that do that. Yes, there are black men that fetishize and lust after black women, white women, Asian. All groups of people fetishize. All groups of people have lust. Okay. But we hear that's what white men do: lust and fetishize black women. And it's propaganda to make black women think that the only reason that white men want anything to do with you is to fulfill a fetishization or their lustful desire. Okay? Now, with some white men, that's true. But all groups of men have men like that. Okay? Number 4, interracial relationships between black women and white men don't last. I've heard that all my life. You know, Sandy, she's a good woman. She's sweet, nice, but you know, those interracial things don't work. You guys are going to have problems. Society don't like it. Yeah. But me and my wife been married 30 years. Okay. When's it going in? You know, it wasn't supposed to last 6 months, but 30 years later, here we are, still going strong. Okay. Black women and white men relationships, marriages last the longest. Okay. Number 5, black women only want to be with black men, and white men only want to be with white women. How many times have you heard this? We've been told this, right? It's a tactic to keep us separated. It's a tactic to keep us within our own racial group. A lot of people don't want to see interracial relationships. So they put forth this propaganda. It's crap. Okay? I very much love black women. I've always been attracted to black women. And not just physically. I've always been attracted to black women physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay? But to have people tell you about white men, they would tell you the opposite. Okay? And I'm going to throw this in here too. The propaganda. You heard this one, right? Let me get on the screen here. Okay, you've heard this propaganda statement, right? And I've been told this. Okay, let's say you get married to that black woman you want to marry, right? Okay, let's say you have kids. What about the kids? Oh my God, you don't want to put children through this, right? Because society don't accept it. What will your kids do? They will be confused. They won't know who to identify with, whether they're black or white. And oh my God, they're going to go through so much problems. First of all, my children, my biracial children, know exactly who they are. And they're grown adults now. They're successful. They're living their own life. Okay. I never taught them that they had to choose whether they want to be black or white. No, they are who they are. They're people. Okay. Yes, they're biracial, but that's okay. They're loved. They're just as good as black people and white people. They're people. They don't have to identify with the racial group or ethnicity. They are who they are. And me and my wife never taught them that they had to be either white or black. That's crap. That's propaganda. And they grew up happy. Damn. I just wish I was as good looking as my son. I wish I had the muscle mass he has. I wish I had access to dating that my son does. I mean, they say he looks like me, and he does, but he's a lot better looking. I'm just saying. Okay. My daughters are very beautiful, and they're educated, they're traditional, and I give my wife so much credit for that. You know? I'm just saying. But that's the propaganda. What's that? Tony. Okay, he says, Dr. Umar, black couples build black families. Okay, here's the problem I have with that. Okay, and I have nothing against black families, white families, Asian families. Okay, yeah, black couples build black families, right? White families build white couples build white families. Okay. Black people and white people come together, build families also. Okay. Not one family is better than the other. Whether you're black, white, or biracial, we're people. Okay. And we need to get out of that crap, because what Dr. Umar spews is black people need to be with black people and be separated. That's the same thing David Duke says about white people. David Duke and Dr. Umar are the same person, in my opinion. Okay. And when I say that, people say, well, David Duke's done a lot more damage than Dr. Umar. Yeah, probably you're right. But they're still same ideology. They're both modern day segregationists. Okay. One was a Klan member, I get it. But one is a segregationist nonetheless, that thinks black people are superior. Just like the white supremacists think white people are superior. No group is superior. We're freaking people. There is not multiracial groups. There is one race, the human race. Yeah, we have different, skin tones, different DNA, but we're humans. We can procreate with each other. We can, bring other human beings in this world, and one is not better than the other. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think we need to stop trying to build families that look like us and build families that have the same things in common, that have the same character, that have love for each other. Who cares what our children look like? Whether they're black, white, biracial, as long as we have children that grow up to be good people, that grow up to be loving of others and successful. That's what I want. I don't care if my kids are light, dark, or in between. And they're all that. And look, people are going to stay with their same race, and that's okay. Some people are going to interracially marry, and that's okay too. People are people. We need to get out of this segregated mindset and go for the best option, whatever that option is. Okay? I'm just saying. We need to get out of that us against them and become one nation, in my opinion. But that's propaganda you hear, right? And just like you said, well, Dr. Umar says black couples build black families. Okay, what about black and white couples? What do they build? They build families too. Okay. Race is a social contract, right? It's something man created to separate ourselves from others because they look different. We're just people. And you know what? With my eyes open and seeing things the way they are, black women are the best option. So I will always, I'm not competing now because I'm married, but I've always competed for the black woman because I wanted the best option. Okay? And I know there's people that will argue, well, I'm with an Asian woman, she's the best option, or a white woman, she's the best option. Okay? And whoever your wife is, you should uplift her as the best option, right? As the most beautiful. That is your standard of beauty, your wife, right? Whatever she is. That's the way we should be as men, okay? But black women, look, that's the best option for me. That's, who my wife is. And when I look at marriage stats, hey, black women, white men, we're doing better than everybody else. Why is that? What's going on? Is it that we're better? No, it's we're putting in more work and we're making better decisions. Okay? That's all it is. Any group of people can make a good decision and be married forever if they put their heart and soul and go for true love. But what are you doing? Are you going to be, do you want to be a husband and father, or you want to be a pimp and player? I'm just saying. And all races go one way or the other. Okay. But anyway, that's the propaganda. Okay. You've heard that. And there's a lot more other things, right? If I would have wrote everything in my mind, I would still not be live tonight. So I kind of narrowed it down, but those are some examples of the propaganda. Okay. And I show the angry white man and angry black men. Because there are angry white men and black men that don't like interracial relationships, just like angry white women and black women. Okay. But, tell me what you think. Am I on to something, or or is this just BS? We need to stay with our own kind. We need to open up our options. All right, now let's go to the truth. Okay. Here's the truth about interracial relationships. Black women, white men, marriages are the longest lasting. In America, the longest lasting marriages are black women, white men. Okay, I'm not just making this up. They've done studies. Look at Pew Research. Look at the U.S. Census. Okay, and you guys have seen this data. I show it all the time. Number two, black women, white men marriages have a 50% less chance of a divorce than a black married couple. Okay, so black women, if you get with a white man, you have a 50% less chance of a divorce than a black man. I know I'm going to get hate for that, but that's what the studies tell us. That is the truth. Okay, black women, white men marriages, number three, have a 44% less chance of a divorce than a white couple. White men, listen to me. You have a 44% less chance of a divorce if you marry a black woman. So guess what? We both benefit. Black women and white men are the best option for each other. We're a better option for each other than our racial counterparts. Let that sink in. And guess what, white men? If you marry a black woman, you have a better chance of more wealth than you would with a white woman. Yes, I said it, and it's true. So the white supremacy thing really, I don't know. I'm just saying, look, if we marry a black woman, statistically, we have more wealth than we marry a white woman. I'm just saying. And there's no hate. I'm just saying that's what the stats tell us. And it's true. Because black women bring out the best in their men, the men that open up their heart to black women. Okay? If you have a black woman that loves you, she will pour her heart and soul into you to make you the best you can be. In fact, black women have a tendency to make you better than you ever thought you could be. Just saying. Number four, 3% of black women were married to white men in 1980. All right, 12% of black women were married to white men in 2023. Okay? That 12% is the most conservative estimate. It's actually higher than 12%. But I took the most conservative stat, the lowest number, to show, and it's still like 4 times what it was in 1980. So things are happening, okay? This is the truth. So you take that propaganda and the truth and do what you want with it. Now, does that mean every black woman, white man couple's going to be successful? No, it don't mean that at all. That's just stats. Okay. Statistically, you have a better chance, black women with a white man, to have a successful marriage. And white men, you have a better chance marrying a black woman to have a successful marriage than any other group of women. Okay, does that mean that's going to be true with, if you get it with a black woman, it's going to be great and wonderful and go and work? No, it don't mean that. Statistically, you have a better chance though. Okay? Look, I chose a black woman and my marriage has lasted more than pretty much anybody I know. I know I made the right decision. Is it because me and my wife are better than other people? No, we're not. It just means we put in more work and we came together with true love and we put our heart and soul into our marriage. We love each other more than our problems. That's what that means. Okay? So that fetishizing thing and that lustful thing, you can put that to bed. Okay? Because our marriages are the longest lasting, the most successful. You look at the data. It's out there. Okay? That's the truth. There's a propaganda. You make your decision. You go with what's best for you. And I will tell you, black women, if you're not attracted to white men, leave white men alone. White men, if you're not attracted to black women, leave them alone. Okay? Don't go what's best on paper. Go with who you're attracted to, who you love. Because I'm telling you, black women, don't just come to us because it didn't work out with the black man. We don't want to be second best. We don't want to be, okay, it didn't work out with the black man because they suck, but I want to, so I'm going to give you a shot. No, don't do that. Don't do that. When white men don't get with black women to just see what it's like and think, okay, well, Becky didn't work out, so I'll try Keisha. No. None of us want to be second best. None of us want to be the alternative option. Okay. We want to be first. We want to be first class. We want you to love us with all your heart. And we should love you with all our heart. I'm just saying. I've dated black women that they love what I do. They love that I'm hardworking. They love that I'm successful. Even when I was younger, before I got married, I had success. They liked that about me. I was consistent and I was loving and nice. But some of them black women weren't into me like that. They really wanted the black man. I get it. I wish they wouldn't even had anything to do with me. It wasted my time. Okay. And I would never get with a black woman and waste her time. And I know there's white men that do that waste black women's time because they're dating them for an alternative reason. No, don't do that. Okay. No, it breaks people's heart and it's not right. Okay. We don't get together because, and here's the thing too, and I would say this to men and women, don't go with the group that is most attracted to you. Go with the group that is the best option for you. And let me explain. Okay. If I went with women that I had a better chance dating, that would like me in higher numbers, I would stay with white women and Asian women. That's the best option for white men. That number wise, that will give you a shot. Black women was the least, because black women, a lot of them are race loyal. So a lot of them won't give you a chance. But when it comes to love and marriage and the biggest success rate, black women are the best option. Now, do I need most black women to like me to be successful? No. I only need one black woman to love me, and I have the best option. Does that make sense? Now, look, I've been rejected by a number of black women, but I've been accepted by a number of black women. It depends on the person. But I didn't go for black women because I thought I had the best chance with that group. I knew that was the least likely chance of success, number wise, right? Back in the day. But when it comes to true love, that's my best option. Number one, that's where my heart is. Number two, when a black woman loves you, she pours everything in more than any other group of women. So believe it or not, the group that don't love me the most is the best option for me when it comes to love. Does that make sense? I know people are like, what is he talking about? But seriously, okay, I didn't pursue black women because I thought, oh man, black women will love me more than any other group of women. No, I never thought that at all. But I always thought black women were the best option for me. Not only because I had love for them, because but also I could see the love that black women give to the men they love. And I wanted that. Just saying. But anyway. Okay, let me show you some videos. Okay, and tell me what you guys think. This is just some TikTok videos, people, giving their perspective on things. And tell me, what do you think? And I'll say to white men, listen to me. There are black women that won't give you the time of day because you're a white guy or a non-black guy, and she wants the black man. They're out there. It is. A lot of black women are like that. It's okay. There are those black women that will love you, though, that are looking to be with a non-black man, an Asian man, a white man, whatever. They're out there. Okay? The ones you are looking for are also looking for you. I found that out. And that's a beautiful thing. So don't let, society get you down. Don't let what the majority may think. You go where you want to go. You go for the best option. I'm just saying. Okay. Let me put this one up here.
A dark-skinned black woman.
Okay, this young lady looks really young. She says, why I don't date black men. Go where you are wanted. Okay, I agree with that. She looks very young. She looks like she might even be a teenager, but she's beautiful. Let's hear what she has to say. Probably in her early 20s.
As a dark-skinned black woman with black features, 4C, unkept, unlaid hair. One of the best things I've done for my dating life is to stop dating black men. Sorry. As a Princeton graduate, high-achieving black woman, most very successful upper echelon black guys are extremely colorist, and even if they do date black women, it's typically like, you're a 7 versus white chocolate. Like, we are just so loved and exotic all over the world that it's night and day. So if you're scared to date interracially, all I have to say is a woman in her feminine energy goes where she is wanted and desired. Do not block yourself out from a whole world because one group of people are saying they don't like you.
Right. Good point. And I would say this. Okay, she's saying date out, right? And why she don't date black men. I would say to black men, and this is going to piss you off. Okay, she says she won't date you. Okay, that's fine. If you truly love black women, you'll be happy for her wherever she goes. And I love black women, and I've been rejected by black women my whole life. I've had black women kick me to the curb, break my heart, but I still love them. I still think black women are the best option. And that's where true love is. We need to get out of our egos, out of ourself, and we need to love women the way we're supposed to. Whatever your preference is, look, okay? Black women are my preference. A lot of black women wouldn't give me the time of day. But that doesn't negate the fact that they're the best option. It's just they didn't want to be with me. Does that make sense? But I still love them. Not all. There are black women that have loved me and been a blessing to me. My wife loves me, and I'm blessed. But I had to go through rejection to get to my true love. Does that make sense? So don't be mad at women because they don't pick you. Don't be mad at them because they divest from you. Don't do it. Love them. And if you want to know why they choose a certain group of men, try to figure that out. What could you do better to be the best man that you are? I'm talking to all men with this, black, white. What are you doing wrong? Where are your shortcomings? Because pride cometh before a fall. You live in your big ego, you're going to fall and you're going to hit the wall. But if you have some humility and say, you know what? Maybe I'm not the most desired. Maybe I'm not the best looking. Maybe I'm not the smart. Maybe I'm not the best option. How can I become the best option? Okay? Not all of us are going to win. Look, there are a lot of better men than me. I know this. Okay? But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make myself better today than I was yesterday. And look, it's part of life. And us as men, we have to compete. We need to compete to make us better. Women should never compete for us. Okay? And I think a lot of times in the black culture, and look, I'm not trying to be mean, but I think a lot of times the women are competing for the men. And that shouldn't be. Us men need to compete for women, regardless of your race. Seriously. Women will open up to you and love you more when you compete for them. It's just natural. I know it'll build our ego if women are fighting for us. Look, that would boost my ego, but it's not right. We need to compete as men. Okay? And if we lose and she chooses somebody else, maybe he's the better option. Then again, she might choose wrong and he's not the better option. That's okay. We got to compete. It makes us better men. And it makes us appreciate the women that accept us. Sometimes rejection makes you appreciate when you're accepted. I'm just saying. But anyway, I mean, she's a very beautiful young lady. But don't be mad at her for her decision and her option. Maybe there's a reason why she only dates certain men or whatever. That's her right. We shouldn't hate her because, oh, you didn't choose me, you witch. No. That's her right. And believe it or not, we all get rejected and we all reject people. There's women that thought I was great that I didn't want no part of. And I wasn't attracted. But then again, it comes on me. There's women that weren't attracted to me. That's okay. That's life. But there is somebody for everybody, guys. Ladies, gentlemen. Just saying. All right.
I've given up on black men.
Okay. This is really low. My volume is turned up all the way. Okay. So you got to really listen. Okay. I can't make the volume any higher. But this is a video I want to talk about.
Here are 5 reasons why I've given up on black men.
So what? You giving up on black men? Okay, that's fine. Go be happy. We call it SYSBM and passport bros for a reason.
Okay. All right. He did a stitch, right? She was saying the 5 reasons why she don't date black men. And he says, well, we don't care. That's why we have SYSBM and passport bros. Okay. I know what passport bros, but the SYSBM, I'm just figuring out what that is. I heard it, but I never looked into it. But I guess it's a group of black men that SYSBM, save yourself, black men. Now, look, hey, you can have any movement you want. And look, if black men feel saving themselves is getting with non-black women, I'm okay with that. I really am. Look, I mean, in fact, because look, if black men want to be with non-black women because that's their preference and that's who they want to be with, who am I to say they can't do that? Because my preference has always been black women. But, you know, and I have no problem. If it's true love and that's what you love, do you. Be happy and love that woman you're with, right? Sometimes I feel like it's like, I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong. Like it's something that, hey, black women, you're not all that. We're going to this other group. Just say that's your preference. I mean, look, black women are my preference. Do I hate white women? No, I don't. I love them very much. I just didn't have the desire to date or marry white women or Asian women and these women are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's just my heart belongs to black women. Yeah, you know what I mean? But this SYSBM, I would love to have a conversation with one of the guys that are in that. Because what I've seen is like, I've heard some of them say that they can create black people with non-black women. You know, maybe that's not all their way of thinking. I would disagree. You're just creating biracial children. But then again, we're only one race. You just, okay. Anyway, but is that where that comes from? Because some black women open up their options, so they created SYSBM and passport bros. I mean, they can do what they want. I'm just asking the question. Because most black women want to be with black men, so why would you need to create these groups? I'm just saying. It's like, you know, if I was in the white women, most white women will be with white men. Most white men will be with white women. Well, I mean, it's changing. White men are opening up their options more than white women are. White men are looking for something, guys. And I think white men, I'm just saying, and the men I talk to, they're looking the data. They're looking at Asian women, Hispanic, black women. They're looking at for something different. Some white men feel that Becky and Karen don't appreciate them like they should. That's what I hear. And there's some white men happy with their white wives. I mean, it's an individual thing. But is that where that came from? But I want to have a conversation with the SYSBM. I really do. Not to get in a fight, but to learn. I want to know what that's about. Is it just men that love black men that love non-black women? Or where's that coming from? Anyway, let's continue.
You're not hurting my feelings. You're not happy with black men? Fine. Go be happy. Find a simp that'll deal with you.
Find a simp that will deal with you. Oh, did he say find a simp that will deal with you? Let's see.
Find a simp that'll deal with you.
Yeah, a simp. Okay. This is what I think a simp is, because I've heard this word. I've been called this too. I've had black men. Oh, you're just a simp. You're pandering. You simp. You simp. Well, I think a simp is somebody that's simply doing what God wants a man to do, showing women love and respect. It's not a weakness to show love and respect to your girlfriend, your wife, to show love and respect to women. I'm just saying, I never understood that simp thing. Oh, I heard him say that's the opposite of a pimp, right? A pimping player exploiting black women. I don't know about you, but I love women. I don't want to exploit them. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's take that down. A simp is a man who is nice to black women. I think that's what it is. You know, and look, if I'm a simp because I love black women, I express my love, and maybe I get a little emotional when I talk about black women, oh well, I'll carry that title with pride. Tell you what, I'd rather be that than a pimping player, because that gets you nothing but hitting the wall when you're older. A simp is any man who dares to be good to black women. It's okay to be good to other women, but being good to black women is simping. Indiana Mom, I think you're right about that, because I never seen white men that say they love their white girlfriends or love Asian women called simps. But you show love to a black woman, you're a simp. Okay, call me a simp. Oh my God. All right. Anyway, let's take that down. Okay.
I have nothing better to do, so
Okay, this is why I'm resisting dating white men. Let's hear what she has to say. Beautiful young lady, why do you resent dating white men? I want to hear this.
I have nothing better to do, so I thought it was a good idea to come on here and tell you guys why I'm resistant to dating white men. Every time I've gone out on a date with a white man, which is all of 2 times, white people are just so aggressive to us, especially the men. In one instance, this guy just looked at us, and he looked away and he didn't look at us again. But I swear it was absolutely racially motivated.
Yes, anytime we look at you, it's racially motivated. You're right.
And the other time, this guy was just like rubbing his beard.
Like this? Like this? Let me show you my racial disapproval. I'm looking at you. Yeah. Beware of this. This is very aggressive. Okay.
In a very aggressive manner, and it just made me feel like they had a problem with me going out with a white man. Not to mention, I've been in a relationship with a white man for over 1.5 years, so I just can't risk it anymore. If you made it this far, congratulations. Y'all really need to stop coming on the internet and sharing stuff like this. Nobody fucking asks.
Yeah, right? Oh, that's funny. And, you know, when I saw this video, I was like, oh my God, she's going to say why she don't want to date white men and they're horrible. But that was funny, you know. And that's kind of like the propaganda. Oh my God, they're staring. He's rubbing his beard. Oh my God, you know that's racially. But seriously, that's the stereotypes. That's the propaganda. And look, I thought that way too. When I was when me and my wife were dating, when we got married, people would stare at us. They would, right? And I'd be like, and in your mind, you're thinking, okay, they don't like us together because she's black and I'm white. And oh my God, you think there's a racial element to it. And you're like, what the heck? Why do they keep looking at us? Like, what the hell? But really, a lot of people are going to just stare at you because you're different. And especially, in the 80s and 90s, you didn't see black women and white men together as much as you do now, right? It was much less back then. So people would stare, and it don't mean that they were racist or hated the fact that you were together. Sometimes they'd look because they're like, oh, there's a black woman and white man. It's different. Some of them looked at you with curiosity. I remember a time we were sitting eating, me and my wife, and this elderly couple kept staring at us. And I'm like, and it was obvious, it was blatant. And then the man walked over to us, and he looked like he had a mean look. And I'm like, oh my God, what now? And he walked over and says, you guys look so happy. You look so beautiful. And the way you hug her and the way she smiles, I don't see people that love each other like that anymore. And here I'm thinking, oh my God, here's an elderly racist couple. No, they weren't that at all. They were admiring me and my wife and the love we showed. And he said, me and my wife just love how you guys, are smiling and happy to be with each other. So sometimes, now there are people that'll stare that have racial thoughts. I get it. But sometimes it's not that. Sometimes we assume people think a certain way because of how they look. Believe it or not, we judge people all the time based on how they're dressed, how they look, and we don't even know these people. And look, I think she's made this video to make that point. Like, okay, why are you talking about this crazy stuff? She dates a white guy. She don't have a problem with it, but she made like a joke, like, oh my God, what's she going to say? But then it's like, but really, we're conditioned so much that we think a certain way because we see and I'm guilty of this. I've seen people that don't like me and my wife being together, that hate it. I've even had a couple times some racial slurs yelled at me and my wife. But we kind of internalize that and think everybody's thinking that, right? And that ain't true. It's actually a minority of people that are thinking that. Most other people are okay with it. But we just assume. It's due to that propaganda, that stuff, But anyway, that was a good video. I like that. Okay. I got 3 more TikToks to show you guys.
Latino man, but have you ever looked at statistics between black women and white men? They make the best fucking couple, and they're the cutest. So there's no racism on my fucking page. You guys need to step the fuck off.
Right on. Okay.
Always making things about race without reading shit.
Right.
Or actually looking at my other videos. Ignorance.
Okay. I would assume she's a white woman with a Latino man. And she says, black women, white men make the best couples. They're the cutest couple. Well, she's right. You're right. And that's a beautiful thing that other people see that, right? Let's play it again. I love this video.
I'm with a Latino man, but have you ever looked at statistics between black women and white men? They make the best fucking couple, and they're the cutest. So there's no racism on my fucking page. You guys need to step the fuck off. Weirdos.
Weird.
Always making
Weirdos.
things about race
Yeah.
without
Why you
reading
making-
shit
Yeah. Read
or actually
some.
looking at my other videos.
Yeah. Look at her other
Ignorance.
videos. Right. She's so in love though. She didn't have to go cussing. I love that video. But that's awesome. You know, look, is she wrong? Are black women and white men couples the most cutest? Are the most? Hey, I can't argue with you, young lady. Thank you so much. That's nice. And look, let me tell you guys. There are white women that don't like me and my wife together. There are those angry Karens, and look, I've dealt with that, me and my wife. But there are white women that really have love and respect for me and my wife and think it's a beautiful thing. I I got a friend at work, she's a white woman, and I told her how much I love my wife, and she asked me about black women, why I speak so highly about black women. And I told her I love black women. And I talked to her about from when I was when I was little, my babysitter and black women along the way, and times in church, and black women that had an impact in my life. This woman was crying. She's like, "That's so beautiful. That's amazing." And she's like, "Black women are amazingly beautiful." She told me that. A white woman to a white man that prefers black women. She wasn't mad at me because I chose to be with black. She just thought it was a beautiful thing that I had that much love and that I can express it like that. And she told me, she said, "You know what? Your wife is blessed." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know about that, but I'm blessed." Right? But hey, but yeah. That's what that video remind me of. That's why I like it so much, you know. She didn't come out and say, "Well, me and who I'm with is the best," but she says, "Man, they are the best and they're the cutest," right? Okay. Here's another some white men talking about black women and they don't like them, right? But listen to this. I showed this video a while back, but I just want to play
Just
this.
not into me, really.
Okay. He says black chicks are just not into me. Okay.
Black chicks are just not into me, really. I don't know.
I don't know if I can handle like some of those black chicks. It's like
It's kind of like you really got to be good at what you're doing.
Gosh, everyone is so upset about this video, saying that we're being sexualized and generalized, but I don't feel that. You know what I hear? I hear that black women are the standard. It's the attainment for me. You have white men over here admitting they're intimidated, scared. You have black men who are angry, bitter, sad. Everyone wants a piece of the black woman. Everyone wants to be like the black woman. But do you know what I tell us black women? Keep up the good work.
Right. Yeah, and look, people were upset with that video saying black women were sexual. I don't think they were. They were saying black women are the standard. He said black chicks just don't like me, and the guy goes, "Yeah, it's like, you know, we got to be perfect, and we got to." They're saying that black women have such a high standard that how can I be with a black woman? And look, I always thought that. I thought, man, when I was dating, I thought, man, I prayed to God to give me a black wife. I did. Honest to God truth. I was praying. I mean, before I was dating, I was praying that prayer. And I was like, I always thought black women are so amazing, beautiful. I never thought I was worthy to date a black woman. I was like, oh my God, they'll never like me. I'm not that good. I'm like, it's like the beauty was just so great, and the love that black women show, and I just thought, man, that's too good for me. It's like, and I felt that way. And a lot of us non-black men really feel that way. Like we don't deserve to be with black women because they're have such a high standard and they're so loving and beautiful. It's like I don't deserve that blessing. Seriously. And I'm speaking truth, guys. And I like how she says, "Oh, well, keep up the good work." Yes, black women, keep up the good work. Your beauty is going to show through no matter how much society, no matter how much programming, no matter how much conditioning, your beauty will rise through it, black women. Your accomplishments will rise. Once our eyes are open and once we feel love from black women, we're done. It's a done deal. I'm just saying. But I agree with this video. And these guys, I don't think were sexualizing black. I think they were just saying, gosh, black women are amazing up here and they don't really like me. I don't know. And that guy's like, yeah, how can we? Just saying. Black women, you're amazing. You're beautiful. You got a unique beauty that no other woman has on earth. And I'm not just talking about your physical beauty. That is beautiful and it is unique. But your love is unique. How you carry yourself is unique. The beauty within inside you is unique. Like I said, women are beautiful. All races of women are beautiful. They are. But black women, you have a unique beauty to you that no other woman on this planet has. Embrace what you have. Embrace what's in your heart. And don't give your love to a man that don't deserve it. You are the prize. You are the treasure. God says it too. It's in the Bible. I'm just saying. But anyway, that was a good video. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a white man. Yeah. And look. Ladies, stay away from these dusties. Okay? And I'm not talking about black dusties only, but white dusties, Asian dusties. Dust comes in all colors. Okay? And there are men of all groups that will exploit you, black women. There are men of all groups that will try to take advantage of you. Okay? You got to be careful. And there are non-black men that are sitting there seeing that black women are hurt and opening up their options. Some men will try to exploit that. I'm being honest. I wish I could say, come to white men and we'll all love you and embrace you and marry you. And, well, a lot of us will. But there are some of us that are just as bad as the dust you left behind. Okay? There's dust on all ends. There are good men on all ends too. Okay? But I'm going to show you this video. And tell me what you think of this joker. I guess he dates black women, but let's hear.
We're dating black women is because
okay, he's resistant to dating black women. All right there, Chad. You tell us why you're resistant to dating black women.
So the reason I hesitate or feel resistant toward dating black women is because I've been on dates with 3 different black women, and on literally every single date, I have had a black man, not every black man, but at least one black man like glare at us or be kind of aggressive toward us. And at first, with those first 2 dates, I was kind of like, am I looking for it? Am I being insecure? Like, is there something, maybe kind of like some implicit racism or something in myself that I'm just like sensitive to that kind of thing, right? Or like creating it, you know what I mean? But on the 3rd date, we had an experience that kind of just solidified the fact that it was happening, where we were walking on the Montreal Canal, right? Like middle of the day, and there was these 3 black men who were standing there. And as we were walking by, none of them were looking at me. And at this point, I fully admit that at this
None of them were looking at you. Are you jealous? I mean, why do you care what black men are thinking? Come on. If you're on a date, you should be focused on your date. And none of them were looking at you. That sounds a little suspect. You want the black men to look at you? What? I'm just saying. I caught that. I was like, what's he mean by that? But let's continue.
At this point, I was like kind of like looking for it. I was like waiting for it to happen because of these past 2 experiences. But none of them looked at me. But one of them actually like was mean mugging her and like stepped toward her to like kind of like have this like throwing an ugly face toward her or something, like a glare at her. And that experience just kind of confirmed the fact that it was happening on those other dates. And I just like looking at that, like it just shocked me because I wasn't prepared for that at all. Like I never thought like something like that would happen. And so I guess the point of this TikTok is just to ask, like, has this happened to anyone else? Like, is this something that's just like I've experienced, or is this like a very...
No, that's something you experienced because you look like a weak. No, I better stop. Um, and what do you mean they were mean mugging her? I mean, you couldn't tell them, hey, you got a problem? What? I mean, what are you doing? I don't know. I've been married 30 years to my black wife, and I've dated black women, and I've never experienced men coming up mean mugging the woman I'm with. That's weird. There are black women that didn't agree with my relationship, but I've never had anybody approach or mean mug or whatever. I think this dude's making this up. I think, and maybe they thought he looked like a weak punk, so they're going to step up to who he's with. I don't know. Maybe that's what was happening. But yeah, that's weird. I think if you're a confident man and you're a man, they ain't going to mess with you. I really don't. Even if they don't like that you're with a black woman, I think this is highly exaggerated. Now you might get a dirty look, but so what? I mean, let them look and go about your business.
very common thing. Because like it even was worse than that, where like at the end of that date, we were walking to the metro, and I haven't dated a black woman since because of this. But we ran into her hair.
You haven't dated a black woman since because of that? You weak piece of garbage. I mean, seriously. You don't deserve to be with a black woman, dude. I mean, why? Because somebody looked at her or looked at you? What kind of powdered princess are you? I mean, this is weak as hell. Ladies never get with someone like this. That is weakish. I mean, come on. Can't believe, really? And you know, this has been out a while. Actually, there were black women that checked him and said, no, we were on a date and it didn't happen like that. And, he's just, look, this is embarrassing. Ladies, I mean, as a white man and a white man looking like this is freaking embarrassing. I mean, they should have mean dogged you and just,
Dresser and her hairdresser's partner. They're both black. And they were talking, the hairdresser and this girl I was on a date with. And I tried talking to the guy, and he would just give me one word answers, right? And he wouldn't really look at me as I was trying to talk to him. And at some point I just stopped talking to him, stopped trying to have a conversation, because it was just clear he didn't want to talk to me. And so
why didn't he want to talk to you? What? Okay, if you say something you don't talk to him. Hell with them. You're on a date, dude. You're with the woman, right? Be focused on her. Who cares what he's doing? I mean, maybe he's a little sweet on dudes. I don't know. Maybe he wants a black man. I don't know. He's crying for attention from black women. Yeah, this ain't attractive at all. This is weak. This is
have those glaring experiences, and then the throwing a glare at her is stepping forward in an aggressive way, and then to just be completely ignored by this guy. I was just really again just shocked. I guess I'm just confused by it, because I wasn't expecting that much hostility.
Okay, why? Because he looked at you, because he didn't talk to you. It's so hostile. Oh my God. There are black people that don't want to talk to you. Maybe because you sound like a weird freaking idiot. I mean, dang, I'm just what? Don't you know if you're in an interracial relationship, there are black people that won't talk to you, there's black men that don't want to talk to you when you're with a black woman. Maybe, so what? Why are you trying to conversate with the other people? You should be focused on who you're on that date with. I mean, gosh, who would date a guy like this? I mean, this is like the poster boy that's telling black women stay with black men. I mean, seriously, you're not helping us out, guy. You're not helping out non-black men by this. You're really not. You're making yourself look insecure, weak, and you're showing feminine energy. Why? Because they're not showing you attention. Poor little guy. You mean the black men ain't showing you love? Oh, need a hug.
Ability for me being a white guy trying to date black women, right? And so I guess again, is this an experience that the people have had? I'm just curious.
No, because we're not weak asses like you. Look, and whenever I was on a date, the woman I'm with, I don't give a damn what anybody thinks around me. I don't care what they think, how they look. I just go about my business. But what's the purpose of this video? To get attention? Saying why you hesitate to date black women? Well, you shouldn't date black women at all. I mean, seriously, you're too weak. You can't take people not talking to you or looking at you. Oh my God. These are the white men, ladies, stay away from. That is so insecure. I mean, I don't know why he still got that up. I mean, that's been up forever. Shoot, you know, I dated black women regardless of the looks I got, regardless of what people thought. I've taken ass beatings to be with black women. So who is this weirdo? I'm just saying. I mean, I've had look. I would fight to be with a black woman. This guy can't even date one because a black guy looks at him funny. What? Wow. What do you ladies think? Just like, oh my God. Is this even real? Oh, that black guy looked at me and it was hostile and he was, I'm like, oh wow. And then he wouldn't talk to me in the hair salon, and that's why I'm hesitant. Wow. I think he wanted to date the black man and not the black woman he's with. I'm just saying. He's more worried about the attention that the black dude was giving him than the woman he's with. Wow. Anyway. Okay, that was kind of funny. That looked weak though. I mean, come on. And here's the thing. If you feel that way as a white man, leave black women alone. They don't need a weak man. They especially if you're interracially dating, because people don't like it. There's going to be times people are going to look at you weird. There's times people are going to stand up against you, and there's times it might get hostile. There's times, most of the time not, but it might happen. You might have to go there. And if you can't protect, and if you're that weak, look, these dudes could have stepped and mad dogged the woman he's with and punked him out, and he would have just held his head down and walked away and left her unprotected. Seriously. I mean, if you're so insecure about how people look at you, or I mean, yeah, I don't know if he should date any woman. I mean, seriously, much less a black woman. Black women don't need a weak white. You know, they don't need a weak ass white dude. They don't. That's oh my God, that's pathetic. He's a punk, yeah. That video, he should take it down. Take it, look, guy, take it down. Get some professional help and try to learn how to be a man and have some courage. And so they look at you. Oh well. Yeah, he can't be interracially dating. Yeah, that just don't make no sense. He's too weak. He's like, I mean, but what he's talking about, I've never experienced that. That's weird. The most hostile people that I've dealt with is not black men. No, it's actually elderly white women, to tell you the truth. Those are the most hostile. The elderly angry Karens. Those are the ones that have shown me the most hate. In reality, black men don't step up. Have never stepped up on me because I'm with a black woman. I've never been in a fight with a black man because I'm with a black woman. No. White men, yes, because I expressed how much I love black women and how much they're better than white women. And when I was younger, and I hurt the feelings of his girlfriend. So yeah, I got sucker punched one time by a group of white dudes because I showed love for black women. But it was so quick, it wasn't even funny. I was hit a couple times, hit the ground, I was bleeding, they left. And I'm like, wow, what the heck happened? And then my friends come running up, say, what did you say? We know you love black women. Come on, you can't just... And I was like smiling, my nose bleeding. And I was like, well, I love black women. What can I say? That's the worst I've dealt with. And, you know, I pretty much, my mouth got the best. I probably shouldn't have said some of the stuff I said. I kind of brought it on myself, but oh well. But that's the most hostile. Actually, the most hostile that mad dog looked at me is actually the white Karens. They're They're the most dangerous. They really are. I'm just saying. Black men, no, they don't really. Um, yeah. Elderly, I'm serious. Yeah. Elderly white men, they don't, especially back in the days when I was young and believe it or not, I was a decent looking guy back in the day. And me and my wife were young and, we were a cute couple. And, elderly women, white women, they don't like to see young white guys going for the black women, but it is what it is. But yeah. Anyway, let me drop the link. If you guys want to come up, I know I'm just talking and talking, and when I be talking, I talk and talkity talk. But if you want to come up and add to the conversation, what I talked about tonight. Look, there's propaganda everywhere. There's conditioning. Um, there are people that don't like interracial relationships. Okay, black women, white men. I we get the brunt of the attacks in today's world. And black men will argue with me, the ones I work with, and they say, no, you don't have it as bad as black men with white women, and the police pull us over and all this stuff. I disagree in today's world. Now, maybe in the 1950s, they're right. I get it. But in today's world, actually, most of the hatred's towards black women with white men. And the crazy thing is, they say, well, you white men have had access to black women since slavery. Well, slavery, I wouldn't consider access. That's oppressing a person. That's total abuse. So, I mean, that's just controlling people. But, when people have a free will, you only have access if they give it to you. White men and black women, yeah, they've had relationships all through time, yes. But talking to my grandfathers growing up in the times of segregation, they came from the South, look, and they've been through the segregation thing. And what they told me is they didn't have access to black women like that. They said that's a lie. Rich, powerful white men can do it, but rich people have that wealth privilege, right? It was that way back then. It wasn't accepted that a white man, just have his way with black women. No. Now, did they have relationships? Yes, that did happen, but it was like kind of on the down low. But wealthy people could do what they want. There was rich, wealthy white men that would be married to white women and have a family with a black woman. That did happen. Actually, that happened quite a bit, believe it or not. But these were wealthy. The everyday white guy couldn't do that. But it's perceived that we just could do what we want because we're white. No, society had control over us too. Believe it or not. Yes, during segregation, white people had it a lot easier than black people. I get that. But anyway. Okay, all right, I got a couple people on. What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Yeah, everything's going good.
No, that's good. All right, Thomas Tyler, what's up, buddy?
Hey, good evening to you. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing real good. Yeah.
Most of the things that you were talking about tonight, I agree 100% with you on. The day that I met my wife, when we first met, I found her very beautiful, very intelligent. She won my heart over, and she means the world to me. And when she agreed to marry me, that was the happiest day of my life, and I'm really, really very happy with her.
Awesome. Yeah, Look, when my wife said yes, I was on cloud nine. You know what? You know, I here's the thing I always said. I said, I think a lot of times our relationships last longer, black women, white men, because, and I'm talking on the perspective of a white man that loves black women. Um, Growing up, dating, I really felt like I wasn't the how can I say this? I always felt I wasn't the preference of a black woman. I never felt that way. Um, and maybe it's because of the conditioning, and maybe because people were more race loyal back then than now, even though it was wide open. Um, I just felt like I wouldn't, but I knew there was a black woman out there that loved me, and there were a number of black women that loved me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've had good experience dating black women. I have. And I think black women, when they get to know us white men, I think when we show them love and respect, I think they embrace that. And I remember dating my wife back in the day, and I would take her out, and I would, pay for the dinner, the movie, whatever we did, and she was so thankful for that. She appreciated that, and for me, that just seemed kind of weird because that's what I'm supposed to do. It it's like you're praising the bare minimum, right? But as dating my wife, she would say that she would pay for half the date, and I knew, and I figured this out dating black women. Um, I can see the shortcomings that black men are doing. Okay, and this 50-50 thing, and I get it's a cultural thing, but really women, and I'm not just talking about black women, but women in general, want a man to provide, want a man to take care of things, want a man to do it and make it happen. Most women want men to lead them and be the leader. They want the man to take care of that type of thing. And when it comes to love and having your back, women, if you're doing right as a man, they're more than happy to be that support system and be, that loving woman and turn your house into a home. And it's not that women don't want to follow men, it's just that a lot of men and just don't want to be leaders. They're lazy. They want the women to either help them out or even take care of them. I mean, there's men out there today looking for women to take care of them, and it's just sometimes it's so ass backwards that and I think we kind of lost it. We gotten caught up, and I'm talking as society, caught up in lust and our ego and our pride, that we just don't see the beauty in women that's there, and we don't know how to truly love the way we're supposed to love. And one thing that black women have taught me through my life is how to love, and how to love the right way. Black women have taught me how to have faith, how to believe, how to truly love. And I'm not talking physical love, I'm talking about spiritually and emotionally. And and it's amazing. And I can't even believe that black women, only 27% are married. Um, and I think it's just a cultural thing that needs to change. I think as a society, we need to go back to marriage, back to the family, back to the basics. And we need to start loving women and treating them like the treasure and the prize that they are. And the thing, and I would say, guys, and when it comes to Black community, what I seen online and some of the things I seen in real life is men wanting to be the prize and wanting to outshine the woman they're with. That's a problem. And that's where, if we go that way, we're going to fall short as men. When we stop protecting the women and stop respecting and loving the women, that's going to be our downfall. And we need to be careful because and this is beyond race. This is men and women in our nation, in our country. If we don't start getting it together, we're going to fall like other nations have fallen. And when, if that ever happens, history, racism, white supremacy, all that crap, nobody's going to care because we're all going to fall together. We're all going to hit the wall together and, you know, fall into defeat together. You know, I'm just saying. But if we turn it around, we could remain to be the strongest nation on earth. And I think the key, and I know this sounds crazy, but I think the key to our success in coming back to the family is the Black woman. I'm serious. And I think that's the key for our nation, not just for the Black community, but for all of us. And us non-Black men need to get to know the Black woman. We need to learn about the Black woman, learn how to love her and respect her, whether we date her or not. And some of us white men need to open up our options. You know, we see Black women online saying, you know, Black women, open up your options, go where you're loved. Well, us white men need to do the same thing. And I'm serious. And, you know, if we could come to that and go for the best option, I mean, well, if men chose the best option and did it with no bias and just did it on what we see and we went straight on love and character, most of us would choose the Black woman, hands down, regardless of your race. Unfortunately, the propaganda, the conditioning in society has kept us from doing that at this point.
Well, I can honestly say one thing. My love for my wife is true and beyond measurement. And I cherish her with every bone in my body because she's just a woman that, you know, makes me feel so complete in life. And that's what counts to me. And as for somebody else, I don't care if people stare at us. That don't bother me. It just makes me realize that in a way they're kind of jealous of what I have.
Right. And they probably are. I mean, I just, for the life of me, I can't understand why people ain't just, you know, just moving in droves to be with a Black woman. I can't understand it. For the life of me, I can't. I know it's not the norm and it's not this and that, but gosh, if you look at the quality of Black women, I mean, if you see what they're doing in today's world, if you see, I don't know, it just blows my mind. And I don't live in a community with a lot of Black people. So, but the women I've been around have been amazing. And I'm just saying. But anyway.
Well, the problem is most white guys are afraid to get out of that comfort zone and take the chance that they need to take. and get the true love of a black woman, once they experience that, they'll find out it's the best thing in the world to actually get the love of a black woman and, you know, marry her, be happy with her, cherish her, put her on a pedestal, and show her all the love in the world.
Right. And you know what? And you're right. White men, look, and I hate to say this. I hate to say this, but it is true. A lot of white men are afraid to step out of that comfort zone. A lot of them are timid, like that Joker we saw. Oh my God, they looked at me. I mean, not all, but God dang, I mean, I'm seeing some. Excuse my language, some candy ass white dudes. I'm serious. I see them in life, and I'm like, God damn, stand up for yourself. You know what? You love black women. Tell the world. Do not. Oh, I want to pull my hair out sometimes. And you know, and the thing of it is the white men that have the courage are living their best life with the black woman. And I'm like, dang it, just say you. Look, I have people at work. Hey, you know what? I like black women. Look, dummy, say it. Say it. Damn it.
Very true.
Tell the world you love black women. Tell them how amazing they are. Don't be afraid. Oh, they might say I'm pandering and I got a fetish. Shut up. Just say what you say, how you feel. Sorry.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's like, and look, that's their life. That has nothing to do with me, but I'm like, oh my God, you don't even know the treasure you have. I mean, it's worth fighting for. And the crazy thing is they'll miss out on something they really want because they don't want to worried about what somebody thinks or how somebody looks at them. I'm like, look, I know when I've been with my wife when we were dating and even through the years of marriage, I know people gave us weird looks, but most of the time I never knew it because I didn't care. It's like, who cares? I mean, if you want to look, go ahead and look. I mean, yeah. I'm just like, and that's not all white men. I'm just saying. But gosh, I
can honestly say if some white men would experience the love of a black woman, I think they would find out that it's all for the better and that, you know, you'll really be happy once you experience the love of a black woman like I do. And, you know, I give her all my love. She gives me all her love. And we're very happy together.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys something. And let me tell you, those of us white men that have a preference for black women, look, we stay with black women. We don't say, oh, well, I had a relationship with a black woman that didn't work out. I'll go back to Becky and then I'll go to Mailing. We don't do that. We stay with the black woman. Even if she tears our heart apart, we look for the next black woman. And I'm telling you, once you feel the love of a black woman, you don't want nothing else. And let me tell you, and this thing with, you know, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and you know how a lot of these guys said, see, black women, he went back to the white woman and that crap. Well, they were him and his black girlfriend he had before, Kyla Nicole. They broke up a year before the Taylor Swift thing. So he didn't leave her to be with Taylor Swift. They're just dating. Him and Taylor Swift are dating. But let me tell you something. And I believe this to be true. Look, Travis Kelce has a preference for black women. He does. You can't tell me no different. But this guy is a player, okay? Travis Kelce, look, he's not the Marion type, not now. But I'm telling you, I don't believe he's really into the Taylor Swift like people are trying to make it out to be. I think he's trying to get a bag. I think it's publicity. And look, when you dealing with celebrities, they want publicity, you know. And Taylor Swift, what she's with a professional football player. He's the best tight end in the league right now. The guy's going to be in the Pro Bowl. He's the best at what he does. Okay, so he's very good. And, a good looking dude at that. And his preference is black women. I'm telling you, he's probably got a black woman on the side that, I think this Taylor Swift, they're using each other for publicity and to bolster their popularity. I'm telling you. Because if your preference is a black woman, you don't go and say, "Oh, I'll get with a white woman now." That it don't work that way. No, it don't. When you love black women, when you feel the love of a black woman, you're not going back. You're done. Okay?
Very true.
I'm telling you, and even if you're a dusty white dude and you step out on the black woman you're with, it's going to be with another black woman because that's who you want. I'm telling you. I'm not lying about this. I'm telling you, whether you're a professional athlete like Travis Kelce or you're an everyday blue-collar white guy like me, who look, we're alike in this way. We want to be with black women. That's our privilege. That's our preference. I was going to say our privilege. That's our preference, right? We're not looking for other women. We don't do that. Now, there are some white guys that will date whoever. They're kind of like the neutral dudes, hey, as long as she's a woman and looks good, I'm in. Okay, there are those guys. But those of us that have a preference for black women, we don't jump back and forth. We just don't do that. And even if we have failed relationships, we look for the next black woman. I'm telling you. And that is the honest to God truth. And I would, now maybe I'm wrong, but I'll venture to say in the future, we're going to see Travis Kelce with another black woman. I'm telling you, I believe that's going to happen. Let's wait and see. I don't think that Taylor Swift is what it is. I think it's more like they're just using each other for clout and publicity. Just saying. Because, hey, your football career don't last forever, right? Even if you're Travis Kelce. I mean, he's good at what he does. If you watch football, everybody knows who Travis Kelce is, right? He's the best tight end in the league. But if you take like Simone Biles' husband, he's a professional football player, but he's not the best at what he does. He's, happy to be on a team. Where Travis Kelce is the best of the best. But with that being said, Travis Kelce, that guy's right now is not the Marion type. He's living his life. He's having fun with women. And Taylor Swift is just another woman. And that's not his preference. I just can't see that. It's just that she's so popular and there's a lot of publicity. They're using each other, I think. Tell me what you think. I mean, I don't hate Taylor Swift. I don't hate Travis Kelce. I just think I don't think they're the, people, the right people for relationships. Taylor Swift has been in multiple relationships that don't last. Travis Kelce has been with multiple women. I mean, they're just doing their thing. I think they're more of a friend with benefits type thing, or they just might be just doing it for, publicity. Hollywood relationships are weird anyway. I wouldn't base anything on that, but I just went into that because I know a lot of guys were trying to shame black women because, he was always with a black woman. Now he's with Taylor Swift. I just like, nah. I wouldn't even pay that any attention really. But yeah, Kelsey is a real he's not the he's not the Marion type. Not now. Maybe he'll change, but he's just having fun with women. And I bet he's got a black woman that he's dealing with, but playing the game with Taylor Swift. I'm just saying. I believe that. Anyway, I'm sorry to get it off track, but I just wanted to make that point because I remember on social media everybody was going in on black women. Look at Travis Kelsey, the guy that likes black women's with Taylor Swift now. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I'm telling you, those of us white men that love black women, our non-black men that love black, that we can't just turn on and off the switch. We're dedicated to black women. That's where our heart is, and we're not going nowhere else. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you the truth. Now, we're in that category, and a lot of us have had a connection with black women early in our life. And I bet Travis Kelsey had that, something even before you're dating. I remember as a little kid, I thought black women were amazing. So, I mean, it started with most white guys that have a preference for black women. There's something in their life where black women has touched them, where they've had an impact, and it's something so positive that they just embrace black women. They just want to be with black women, and that's where I'm at. And and that's okay. I mean, you go where you're loved, right? You go for who you love too. And believe it or not, there's black women that feel the same way about white men. They're out there. And the beautiful thing is when you find that. The beautiful thing is when you get in that relationship where you ask her out and she says yes, and she embraces you while you embrace her. And when you get to that point, and with the rejection that happens along the way, that just makes it that much more valuable. And but anyway, I could talk all night about this. But anyway, Alexander, do you want to say something? I'm sorry, we were talking.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything on everything that was said tonight. And I can't be on here for too long. I got to go and help my dad with setting up the table, because tonight, because tomorrow we're gonna be watching a wrestling event. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I gotta help him with that. And yeah, I've been saying this about I've been saying black women should open up their options for a long time. And I
Right.
heard black women saying the same thing. And yeah, on April the 20th, it will be my last stream for this year. I will explain why. I will explain why on February 25th, because I've been missing father and son time, and yeah, and I want to hang out more with my father. I'm not, and that doesn't mean I will not be supporting black women. I'll be supporting black women. Yeah, I will still be supporting them. if I decide to come back to YouTube again, I will, and this time we're going to be talking about different things. We still going to be talking about Black women opening up their options, and also and also we got to add a lot of stuff in there. But yeah, on April the 20th will be my last day on YouTube. So
Oh wow. Oh. You just want family time? Get away from it for a while. I
well, there is also more to it. As I said, I will explain more on the 25th of this month.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I tell you, I have to take breaks from YouTube. YouTube's crazy. Um, yeah, but well, thank you for that. Um, I'm going to have to close up, guys. I appreciate you coming up. Black women, I would just say, look, be the treasure and the prize that you are. You know, you are a blessing to me, and I'm speaking as a white man that grew up with a white family and a white neighborhood. It wasn't the best neighborhood, but it was, well, it was mostly Hispanic, but you know, it um but I never had a lot of access to black women growing up. But the black women I did was a beautiful blessing. And let me tell you, growing up, I wanted to be with a black woman. I pursued black women. It was deliberate in what I did. And ladies, that's how beautiful you are. Okay. And once you touch our heart, we're done. That's how powerful your love is. That's how beautiful it is. And look, the love of a black woman, there's nothing more beautiful. There's nothing that feels better than the love of a black woman. I'm being honest. Okay. And I'm not talking about the physical part. Well, that's good too. But I'm talking about the emotional and the spiritual part. You know, and black women have taught me how to love the right way. Really have. And you ladies are awesome. So don't ever sell yourself short. Don't ever let people tear down your self-esteem, because you're more beautiful and more valuable than you will ever know. And I'm being honest. And as time goes by, your beauty will show. As time goes by, more men are going to pursue you. As time goes by, you know, you're going to be the main preference. I'm just saying. Look, you know, a true blessing and true beauty cannot be suppressed forever. It's rising. And black women, you are the best option. And I will argue anybody about this. And I have stats and truth to back me up. Okay.
I agree with you 100%. Like I said, I'm truly deeply in love with my wife and have been since the day we first met. She won my heart over that very exact day when she agreed to go out with me and everything. And the day that she said yes, she would marry me, that made me so deeply happy. And like I said, my love for her runs deeper than anybody could ever imagine.
Tell her when you proposed to me.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know, the surprise of it is where I proposed to her, you know, asked her to marry me, was at Walmart.
Oh, at Walmart, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, Thomas, Thomas, I'm happy for you. You know, I'm still single, and I still I still have love for the black woman, and hopefully down the line I'll find one. You know, and I think the problem is that black men, the majority of them take the black woman's love for granted, and
Yeah,
the support of black women's black women for granted.
Well, I can honestly say, when you find that one true black woman that you love, you cherish her, you hang on to her, you don't never let her go. I mean, she's the love of your life, and that's going to be for a long time.
yeah,
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 I most definitely agree.
yeah. But yeah, I'm telling you, black women are amazing. Look, my life is better because of black women. My life is complete. I'm telling you, my wife is everything. And it's just a shame people don't see the true love that black women give. And
That's very true statement.
yeah, and I agree with you, Alex. A lot of black men do take black women's love for granted. They do, and I see it, and I'm like, wow. Um, and it's amazing how a lot of times us white men can embrace the love we get from black women, and we don't get as much as black men do. We don't. We get a little portion, and we're in love. It's like, and black men have been getting everything, um, from what I see, and it's like, wow, how can you not see the beauty in black women? And I just, I don't get it. Now everybody has a preference. Now, if you're a black guy and you have a preference for an Asian woman, I get it. That's where your heart is. But good night. I mean, black women are amazing. I'm just wow. I'm just
Well, I can honestly say, for one thing, I tell my wife every day how much I love her, how beautiful she is to me,
right.
and it just means the world to me to be able to tell her that and everything, and show her all the love that I have to give, like she shows me and everything. And it's just, I'm totally blessed and happy.
Yeah. Hey, do you think that we have a better relationship because you think black women hold us more accountable than black men? You think maybe because we got to prove that we're not racist, we're not a fetishizer, because black women are a little cautious with white men. A lot of them are, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying you should vet who you're with and make them prove their love to you. Yes, could that be one of the elements that makes our marriages more successful? And could it be that we don't expect access to black women, and when we get it, we really appreciate it, we embrace it? Because sometimes when you don't think you're going to get what you want, and you really value it, you really embrace it, you're thankful for it. I'm just saying, because I tell you, when I was in high school, and my first girlfriend, and she was a black girl, and I remember I approached her, and I was nervous. I always nervous when I approach women I was attracted to, right? But and I asked her if she'd go out with me, and she grabbed my hand. She said, "Yeah, I'll be your girlfriend." And I was like, "Oh my god, that was the greatest feeling ever." I still I still look back at that, and I like, when I'm feeling down, I think about it. I'm like, "Yeah, that was awesome." And then
I know how
you,
you feel, because, like I said, when I first asked my wife if she would consider dating me and giving me a chance to show her my love and everything, and she said yes, hey, that was the greatest day of my life.
yeah, and then when I was dating my wife, and oh my god, it was like, and I proposed to her. I told her this, right? I said, you already have my heart. And I said, if you give me years, I'll give you forever. And I remember the look on her face. She looked at me like she's seen a ghost, right? And she says, well, you have my heart too. And I said, will you marry me? And she got emotional, and I was emotional too. And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And I remember, and look, I only knew my wife like 2 months, and I proposed to her. And people thought I was crazy, right? But we just connected. And I spent those 2 months, we spent so much time together. And I already knew her family. She knew my family. It was like, and we wanted the same things in life, and we just connected. And
Well, I can honestly
the
say
rest is
that
history.
I can honestly say with my wife,
Mhm.
by the end of the first month we were together, I already asked her to marry me then because I knew she was the one that I would love for the rest of my life and everything. And the day that I asked her to marry me, we we were in Walmart and we picked out her ring set, we picked out my rings, we sent hers out to be sized, and when hers came back about 3 weeks later, when we went and got them, there was two Walmart clerks there, female clerks, and when we got the rings, I turned around and right there in front of them two clerks, I asked her, I said, well, will you please be my wife and marry me and everything? And they were, both of them say, all right, yeah, go, go, go.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. I remember that day, and it was like, yeah. I mean, the wedding day was the happiest day of my life. I remember, and me and my wife got married in it was like a clubhouse at it was like a community of townhouses. It was a nice area, and they had like a community clubhouse thing. They had like a swimming pool and a banquet area, and and my wife's friend lived there, so she's like, why don't you use that place to get married? Because my wife said yes to me 2 months after we were dating, right? But I had to go. I had just joined the army, and I had to go to basic training and to school, and I didn't know when we are going to get married. I just told her, well, as soon as I get leave, I'll come home and marry you. So I would send her money, and I paid her rent. Just I wasn't even married to her, and that's just how it was. And but I would send her money, and I say, well, she had to plan it out because I wasn't there, and we had it at that clubhouse, and it was a big wedding. It really was. My family was there, my wife's family, our friends, and a lot of rumors that were going on. People thought I was marrying my wife because she was pregnant, and she wasn't pregnant, and I didn't think she was, and I just love my wife. We wanted to get married. It's kind of funny when you're a white man with a black woman. People will give every reason in the world why you're together except that you love each other. They can't, I don't know if they just can't comprehend that we're just two people that love each other. It's always got to be, oh, she must be pregnant. Oh, she must be this. Oh, it's crazy. But, it's just funny looking back, and all the naysayers, and, people just say different things now than they did back then. Back then, it's like, okay, you're marrying a black woman. What are you doing? Now they're like, hey, how do I talk to a black woman? How do I? Now they're like asking advice. Before they were like I was crazy, right? It's kind of weird. Um, but that's really what's happening. Things are changing. The Black women are seeing so much more positive in today's world. Believe it or not, ladies, you are. And this is white people that are seeing you as educated, smart, successful. People tell me, yeah, I know why you married a black woman. They're successful, they're amazing. And this is white people that aren't married to black people telling me this. I mean, seriously, I didn't hear that back in the day. Back in the days, like, oh my God, why would you do that? Oh, I don't want to see you get hurt. You might want to think about this, to where they understand exactly why I chose to be with a black woman. And I'm
See, that's the
telling you,
bad problem about it. A lot of people can't comprehend why white men would marry black women. It's just the ideal that they can't handle the thought of that.
yeah. Well, the ones that can't, I don't think they want to. I think that there are people, and I call them the modern day segregationist, right? And the modern day segregationist is somebody, yeah, they can get along, and they're black and white. The modern day segregationists, yeah, they can get along, be friends, but they still hold on to that. We got to be separate when it comes to marriage, when it comes to family. Um, and really, integration is more than us coming together being friends. It's more of us coming together as a nation, as a family. Um, that's really what it's about. Oh, Alexander hopped off. Have a good night, Alexander. But you know what I mean? It's more, and we have to integrate as a nation. We have to come together as one. In my opinion, we can't be separated by race. That's stupid. It never benefited nobody. Um, well, white people it benefited, but black people, but really it didn't benefit us either. It just made us a weaker nation, really. But when we come together, we need to, because we're the same nation right now. This is our home. This is our country. We look, you marry and be with who you want to be. And don't let nobody tell you different. And
Don't let
white,
nobody influence your decision. That's your
right,
decision, your decision only. And people cannot let other people influence the way they feel and everything. And
right,
like I said, without the love of my wife, I'd be lost.
right. Yeah. And the thing of it is white men and non-black men, if you love black women, don't make it a secret. Say it. Make it known. Okay? You should always, embrace the ones you love. You should always profess your love for them. I mean, every husband should love his wife and, let it be known you love her. Why would I keep it a secret because I'm with a black woman? That's silly. But a lot of people do that. They'll be in a interracial relationship and keep it on the down low in 2024. Like what?
The
I
reason
mean,
that is because a lot of people are afraid to accept what other people are going to say about it and everything. But like I said,
yeah,
you cannot let other people influence your decision or, anything like that.
yeah, right. And that's true. And we need to get beyond that. We need to stop that. I mean, you know, and if you love black women, say it, and then stand up for black women. Don't sit back and say, oh my God, this ain't my business. This is black people business. No, stop that crap. It stand up, and if you're doing black women wrong, I don't care if you're a black guy or white guy, you're wrong, and stand up, you know. Um, don't let that shaming crap get to you. both black women and white men, don't let that shaming, that propaganda keep you apart. If you love each other, you love each other. And it's your life, it's your family. And people say, well, what will your family think if you marry a black woman? I remember hearing that. It don't matter
You
what my
can't let
family.
you can't let that influence your decision. Your family members
Right,
cannot
right,
influence your
right.
decision. They gotta learn that, hey, you love this woman with your heart, you accept her. You know, I won't even stand for that from my family. And I told them that when we got married. I said, you either accept her or you don't accept me.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. When it don't matter what your family think, because you're starting your own family, and that's why you can't be that way. Um, but yeah, you kind of dropped me off point when you jumped in there. But yeah, it's it don't matter what your family thinks. It don't matter what your mom and dad think. It don't matter what your brother and sister think. The most important person in your life is the one you're going to marry. And that was my thing. I've cut off family members, a couple. Most of my family was okay, but there were some people I had to cut ties with because of my wife. And if it come to just cutting my whole family off, if it standed in the way of me being with my wife, I would do it. And that's the thing, because the most important person in my family is my wife. And you know, and that's my whole point. But not everybody is on that point. Not everybody, but anyway, I might have
Like
to
I
close.
said, that's the one thing about it that, you know, my family embraced her with open arms and everything, and they were very happy that we're together. And like they said, they've seen since I got married to her and everything, they see how happy I am, and they know that this is something that's going to be a long lasting marriage, and you know they know
Yeah, right.
how happy I am and everything. So
Right. And that's what's important. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna have to close up, guys. Tyler, thank you for coming up again. It's good talking to you. Um, yeah, but guys, thank you for coming up tonight. I'm gonna have to get some sleep. But
well, bless you and your wife and your children, and I can see how happy you are, and and I'm happy in my life. I'm happy with my wife, and she means the whole world to me.
yeah. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Um, and I'm telling you, us white men married to black women, I'm telling you, we have the best that best in the world. We have the biggest blessing that God ever created. Just saying.
Very true. Very true.
Um, but look, I just wanted to talk about this tonight, and then the propaganda, and then there's the truth. And truth be told, we are the best option for each other statistically. I know people
Well,
will
you know what they
argue,
always say. You know what they always say. The truth will set you free.
right? It will. And live your truth. Live your life. Okay. And thank God I had the courage to choose my own path. Thank God I got up enough courage to talk to a black woman, to tell her how I felt. And sometimes I got kicked to the curb. That's okay. But it led me to total success at the end of the day. And that's
Oh,
what
I
it's
can
all
honestly
about.
say, I can honestly say I thank God every day for my wife because she's the very special person in my life that'll ever be in my life. And I thank
Right.
God for her every day.
Yeah. And that's good. But yeah. And that's how we should be. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and close. Thank you so much. Thomas, Tyler, we'll see you. You and your wife have a good night. God bless you both. I'll talk to you soon. Everybody in the panel, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this show tonight. And
Like I said, God bless you. God bless you and your wife and your family too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you got something out of it. And I just want to cover these topics because we're all faced with this. The propaganda, the stereotypes, all this stuff. But when we really get to know each other, we find out that a lot of that stuff is a bunch of garbage. We find out how amazing Black women are. And what we're told is like, no, that don't even make sense. And I know Black women have said, wow, white men ain't that bad. They're really great. Some Black women said white men are awesome. And we just got to get to know each other. Black women, white men, give each other a chance. Okay? Just give each other a chance. Get to know each other. You'll be surprised how much you have in common. You'll be surprised.
Take the leap of faith and put your faith in the one that you want to be with, and the one that you want love from, and give that person all your love like they're going to give to you.
Right. Right. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. But vet, okay? Don't just say, hey, don't assume that's a good person. You got to be, you got to get to know each other. I'm talking to men and women, okay? Even though we are the best option for each other, there is corruption within our groups. I'm just saying, okay? People are people. But you'd be amazed how much you have in common and how much of a beautiful life you can have together. So give each other a chance, get to know each other. But anyway, guys, have a good night. I'll see you guys. I don't know. I'll see you guys Tuesday for a prayer meeting. I'm sorry it was so late tonight. Getting off work was tough. Man, I came in late and had to put it together and get the videos I wanted to use and the slides I made. I wanted to make them longer, but I kind of threw it together. But you know where I'm coming from the propaganda. Okay. We all heard this stuff, but experiencing real life is nothing like that. Actually, Black women and white men, we do love each other. We do. There's a lot of us that do. When I was dating, I found out there were Black women that wanted to date white men. I'm like, wow. I found out that some of the Black women I was looking for were looking for me. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay. We're looking for each other. We're just kind of in the dark thinking we don't like each other or the others don't like us. But
well, that's why I said, as for my wife, when her birthday came up on the 17th of last month, like I said, I took her out to dinner, went out and bought her a dozen long stem roses and everything. And matter of fact, this coming Monday is my birthday. So.
No, okay. Well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
All right. Hey, guys, I'm going to have to close down. We'll be talking all night. Gosh, why do I have trouble closing it out? I guess I like talking too much. But anyway, you guys have a good night. Tyler,
Okay.
once again, thank you, sir. Blessings to you and your wife, and I'll see you guys soon.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good night. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. See you Tuesday. Have a good night, and I'll be back Saturday again. Okay. Have a good night. God bless.